interstate, it immediately brings out questions about, is this an individual event, or are we dealing with someone who may have or are about to shoot other people? Well, the good news is this was an individual event. Let me underscore that. And I started out by introducing to you our victim, Kevin Berry. He's 58 years old. He's a truck driver. He was well thought of, and he was also a trainer. He was known to come to work early. He was due to be at work about 3:30 or 4, and at 2:16 we received a 911 call that said a 2017 white Dodge Ram 4x4 was in the turning lanes from the off-ramp of Interstate 4 to US Highway 27, and there's a guy laying beside it dead, and he's got a hole in his head. I'm sorry, he was not dead at the time, but he had a hole in his head. So obviously we respond immediately, and sure enough, this guy is in grave condition. He was not yet deceased at that moment in time. And we started our investigation, and what we determined is Kevin lives in Altamonte Springs, and he was westbound on the interstate, and he took the off-ramp in order to go to 27, and almost at the intersection of Highway 27 is the business, the trucking firm he works for. He was very well thought of. We talked to friends and family. They said, hey, he doesn't back down from an event. So if you get up in his face, he will push back. What we also learned from a witness is that there was a road rage with this car, and the first information, the preliminary information we got was it was a dark colored, small, compact, two-door vehicle with a luggage rack, kind of an older model. This is how great our detectives are. That's the first information and what we released to you. Here's the suspect vehicle. As you can see, it's a small, compact vehicle, but it's 4 doors, and it's not really dark in color. It's silver in color. Could look dark at night, and it doesn't have a luggage rack. This is how good our detectives are. So we start looking at cameras in stores on Highway 27. I am so thankful for our community, our business community, that has cameras in their stores to protect them, because one of the cameras near that intersection showed a conflict. It also recorded sound, and we could hear 2 gunshots. We could also hear people screaming at each other. So our detectives are working all of the cameras from all of the stores, and when you get down toward Haines City, there's red light cameras, and what we're looking for is a small vehicle during this particular time frame, where we were able to identify this vehicle during that particular time frame, as well as 3 other vehicles that probably witnessed the event and just drove around it, because there was a conflict in the turning lanes, and the information that our witness gave us certainly did not correspond with where we found the vehicles when we arrived. But our detectives, in their remarkable fashion, pressed on, and we went to Daniel Hamilton's house. Daniel Hamilton lives in Davenport. He's also 58 years old. He's also a truck driver, and he has an LLC that indicates that he may have a small trucking firm. I don't know if he has any employees or he drives for himself. He's also got a criminal history. In the past, he's had 3 felony arrests, 3 misdemeanor arrests, drug charges, fighting charges, robbery charges, disorderly charges, battery charges, contempt, and forgery. So we're pulling the videos, and sure enough, we follow him to 1134 West Wind Drive, and we knock on the door. When we knock on the door, we are talking with him, and he is saying, no, I was at home the whole time. No, the car's been at home the whole time. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, there's one thing you should know, that anytime a detective asks you a question, he's already got the answer, or she's already got the answer. In this case, Angel Shireman's our lead detective. So she knows, and after he says, no, 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 I don't know what you're talking about, she shows him his vehicle as it is at that intersection at the exact time that the man is shot. Now, in the meantime, Kevin Berry is pronounced legally deceased. They still have him on a respirator waiting to harvest his organs, and we're thankful for the family allowing his organs to live on and save someone else's life. But he is legally deceased. They have not officially unplugged him yet. So we obtain a search warrant for Daniel Hamilton's house. Now we go into Daniel Hamilton's house, and what do we find underneath his pillow? A gun that happens to be missing 3 casings. Now there's 2 live rounds and 3 empty chambers. So what do we find in the garbage can? 3 empty three empty casings. We absolutely anticipate that this gun is going to match the ballistics on the bullet once we're able to retrieve it from our victim's head. The bullet's still in his brain at this time. It's a horrible event. Now, folks, I want to underscore, this is the ugly end to road rage. The ugly end to road rage. This man is dead. This man is locked up in jail for second-degree murder at this moment in time because of road rage. Because they had some conflict either on Interstate 4 or on the off-ramp at 2 o'clock in the morning. Listen, there's plenty of road for everybody at 2 o'clock in the morning on Interstate 4. Plenty of road. And now we have a horrible set of circumstances where this man at 58, a truck driver, and this man at 58, a truck driver, their lives are, his is ended and his is now an absolute disaster. So when you're involved in road rage, and you see this is how it can end up. So we tell everyone, take a deep breath, back away, don't let the guy who's aggressive get under your skin. No good outcome occurs whether you tear cars up, you fight in the street, or one or both of you end up shot and killed. So the question is, Sheriff, who started the road rage? Answer is, we don't know who started the road rage, but we know this. We know that when Daniel shot and killed Kevin, he ended the road rage. And that's called murder. Are there any other questions? He made admissions, but as he got deeper into the conversation and saw that he had obviously lied to us, I know that comes as a shock to y'all, because, you know, nobody should lie to their doctor, their lawyer, or a law enforcement officer, but surprise, they lie to all 3. He quit talking with us, but he made plenty of admissions, to include my favorite admissions. When he said, well, you got what you need. I'm ready to go to jail. Just thinking that's like an admission, right? You got what you need. You got what you found what you're after. Let's go to jail. So at the end of the day, I beg people, you know, do not engage in road rage. I mean, I'll also ask people to lock their car doors, and they don't do that either. But please, your life depends on it. Leave the person alone that wants to engage in road rage, because something's wrong with him. Normal people without anger management issues, when someone else makes a mistake, innocently cuts over in front of them, doesn't intend to do it, doesn't see them, they're in the blind spot, they just let it go. And the overwhelming majority of the people do exactly that, which is what you should do, just let it go. Life's more important than to get all wadded up over a position on the highway.
Sheriff, is there any indication it may have been self-defense at all?
We have no idea whether it was self-defense. We don't see any indication that it was self-defense. And I'll give you a clear understanding of why we think that. Here's the deal. So you got to understand his car is here, right? Okay? So we're going to have his car going this way on the turning ramp, right? The white truck is ostensibly beside him. The bullet passes through one side of the truck, out of the other side of the truck, and kills our victim on the other side of his truck. So there was at least an entire truck between the shooter and our victim. So it's very difficult to claim it's self-defense or stand your ground when the guy that's now deceased, that was mortally injured at the time, is on the other side of the vehicle and has no weapons.
They were stopped when the shooting happened, or
They one of them had cut the other off. When one of our witnesses drove around them, the white vehicle or the silver vehicle had actually turned, and they were kind of crossways in the road. They weren't straight in the turning lanes. By the time we got there, the white vehicle truck was in the turning lane. Of course, the suspect vehicle's gone. So they changed positions in their road rage even after our witness left, and both of them had windows down screaming at each other when our witness drove around them. So they had words long before there were shots fired. How'd that work for them? How's their day today because of that road rage incident? And I'm sad. One guy certainly shouldn't be deceased. The other one wouldn't be locked up in the county jail for second-degree murder, tampering with evidence, among other charges. Anything else? Yes, sir.
And that Mr. Berry was outside of his vehicle on the driver's side, or you said passenger side?
The bullet went through the passenger side, through the driver's side, and hit Mr. Berry. So he was down on the ground.
they were stopped when the shooting actually happened.
Yes, it appears that way.
Were you able to speak with any other witnesses, maybe track down those other cars?
We're still looking for those witnesses in those other cars. We certainly hope that they will come forward, because we need to talk to them and get their perspective of what occurred. That's very important for us to find the people in the other three vehicles. So look, we've got one man that's legally deceased now, and will be off of the ventilator as soon as they harvest his organs. We got the suspect in jail. We just need your perspective. What did you see, and when did you see it? And where were you, and where were they when you saw it?
Sheriff, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but there's an unsolved I-4 road rage shooting being investigated by Plant City Police. They took off on I-4, and there's no businesses there with cameras. So was that the missing piece here, that you were able to track the car with cameras?
We were able to track the car with cameras, which certainly made it much easier. And listen, the cameras were in people's businesses to ostensibly protect their business and to give them video footage so that if anybody came there to damage their business or commit crime. There's a reason crime's at a 51-year low in Polk County. It's because the community, the business community, and law enforcement all works together. And here is another example of the business community working with us with cameras that they purchased. That led us directly to this vehicle and this guy's house. And we're appreciative. So that's a good thing. And it's important that our suspect be held accountable for his conduct.
Were they able to, with those cameras, Sheriff, get a tag
We traced the vehicle all the way to his house.
But, I mean, even though it's early morning, there are any number of vehicles that could be a small, like you said, the detective.
Sure.
Looked through the video or whatever. Were the cameras good enough that they were able to figure out a tag, or how did they trace it?
We traced the vehicle to the neighborhood, and then we went door to door in the neighborhood until we found the vehicle,
Camera to camera to camera to camera tracing the vehicle, is that what you're saying?
till he turned into the neighborhood from the different businesses. And there were a couple of red light cameras that we used to say, yep, he's still on the road. But thank you, business owners. Thank you for caring enough to protect your business and to help us gather evidence to protect your business. But in this case, you solved a murder for us, and we are immensely grateful.
Sheriff, I was just wondering, you may not know the exact number off the top of your head, but how many of these road rage incidents have you dealt with so far this year?
There's not many of them that end up in murder. There's road rage incidents every day. Every day.
What do you say to the community that's, like, there's no telling how long this road rage was going on I-4 before they pulled off. If somebody sees something like that and the road rage going on, what does the community do?
You know, I think that's the best example that I can give you is if you see something or hear something, say something. You can be saving someone's life. So you're exactly right. We don't know if this road rage incident started on the interstate, started once they were exiting, because both of them had a need to exit to 27. One was going south to Davenport to his home. The other one was going north to his place of work. So did it happen on the interstate or just on the ramp? Have no idea. But once again, you get angry, you get mad, you do things like this, people die. Other people go to prison for the rest of their life.
Obviously, a felon, he wasn't supposed to be in possession of a gun.
Well, of course not. If he was convicted of those were arrests. I haven't checked on the convictions. Okay, anything else? Thank you very much. Be safe. And we're working on some, I think, an interesting case that we may have ready for you about Friday, it looks like now. Just depends on how fast our PIOs work.
Do it now.
I am more ready for it now than y'all are. Take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.